With winter finally loosening its icy grip, men and women gripping bows and arrows came back outdoors to shoot in Shanghai, signaling the start of World Archery's summer tour. Over 300 elite athletes came to the magnificent and magical land of China to kick off the new season. As usual, the usual suspects, like Korea, appeared as powerful as ever. But don't forget Japan or Indonesia, and Mexico was in the mix as well on Recurve Sunday in Shanghai. Without a doubt, the German women's team had to be happy about reaching the gold medal match at stage 1. On the other hand, they also had to realize the daunting task that laid ahead. Karina Winter, Lisa Unruh, and Veronika Heidenschalova would be facing a dominant force from Korea. Kibobe and company had not lost a single set in the run-up to this match along the river. And they were doing it again, winning the first 2 sets to grab a 4-0 lead over Germany. Karina Winter kept her chin up, continuing to battle as she also prepared for her upcoming bronze medal match. Heidenschalova was able to catch the line for 10 more points. And Lisa Unruh, looking for her first World Cup medal since 2012 in Ogden, Utah, kept the run going. Could Korea conceivably drop a set? Gong Chae-young replied on behalf of her team. She was just warming up in the first of 3 events she would shoot on this Sunday in Shanghai. Kibobe with a display of her Olympic form from 2012 in London. And Cho Mi-soon stays right in tune with the rest of her trio. So Deutschland's got to keep doing what they just did. Try to keep finding the middle of that target. Instead, Winter's second shot of this third set strays wide right. Heidenschalova makes some sweet music with a solid 9, but Unruh's 8 would basically seal the fate of the German trio. Ms. Gong cashing in again, leaving some leeway for Kibobe to work with. And a 9 by Ms. Ki just sets the table for the 18-year-old Cho Mi-soon, a finalist in the upcoming women's gold medal match. 6 would tie, 7 or better would win. But forget all that. Cho Mi-soon goes for the kill shot right down the middle. It's a fitting way for this Korean squad to end a week of total domination. After blanking France, Vietnam, and Japan, they shut out the Germans 6-0. Korea refusing to surrender even a single set over the course of their last 4 matches. First of all, we were happy when they shot 3 10s during that third set. That meant we had to shoot 3 10s as well. So that made this a much more meaningful match.
Step 1. First, we're going to clean our arrows. Looking at where the fletching is going to go, I'm just going to clean the arrow in that area. Second step, I'm going to mark the arrow along one side of each arm of the tri-liner. I've got 3 perfect lines on my arrow. Step 3, we are ready to apply the tape to the shaft. For a right-handed shooter, which is what I am, looking from the back of the arrow, I'm going to put my tape on the right side of the line, looking from the back of the arrow. Lay it down on the shaft right beside the line, and I make sure that it follows that white line straight down the shaft. Push the whole thing down, and there you go. That's your tape onto the shaft. So now we are fletching. Just take that edge, line it up with that line. Now you can push it all down. Perfect. Some people like to shoot it just like this, but I like to have a little bit more security, and that's where this black pinstriping tape comes in handy. What this does is it lays down on the front leading edge of the fletch, and the back edge to make sure that nothing gets caught. Holding it down with one finger, give it a little bit of tension, pull it taut, and once you've come around twice, dig your thumbnail into that tape and pull. And just like we did on the front side, we're going to do to the back side, but you're only going to cover about 1 millimeter of spin wing with this tape. And again, dig your thumbnail in, and that's how to fletch. So now we're going to finish our arrows, and this is a little trick that I learned from my coach. So we're going to take baby powder. This is going to get rid of your arrows that stick together in the quiver. And that is a completely finished arrow. Have fun and shoot straight.
Talk about a straight shooter. Furukawa Takaharu was coming off a major upset just hours before after leading Japan to victory over Korea in the men's team gold medal match. Along with Kawanaka Kaori, he was mining for even more gold in the mixed team gold medal match against Korea's Kong Chae-young and the dangerous Kim Woo-jin. Japan jumped out to a 4-0 lead, but Korea is on the comeback trail, down by just 2 after the first 3 ends. It's far from an encouraging start for Kong Chae-young, the 18-year-old diving low into the 8 ring. But Mr. Kim comes through and picks her up with a 10, so all is not lost, especially after Ms. Kawanaka matches the 8 by Ms. Gong. Now it's up to Mr. Furukawa to copy Mr. Kim, and he comes up 1 point short. Advantage, Korea. For how long, though? Kong Chae-young leaves another arrow in the 8 ring, but once again her experienced partner comes to the rescue. Kim Woo-jin turning up the heat on Japan. Kawanaka handles the heat, almost scoring a 10, and gives her partner a chance to be the hero. A 10 would split the set and send Japan home with another gold medal. But the 2012 Olympic silver medalist comes up 1 point short. Korea claims the 4th set and sends this match to an anything-can-happen tie-breaking shoot-off. The crowd eagerly anticipating the shoot-off, Ms. Gong getting the party started with a solid shot that puts the pressure on her counterpart, Kawanaka Kaori. It's close, but it's just out. That's an 8. Advantage Korea. And Kim Woo-jin aims to keep it that way. That shot basically puts the match out of reach, making the final shot by Furukawa just a formality. Never count the Koreans out. Down 4-0 after 2 sets, Japan had them on the ropes but couldn't land the knockout punch. Korea kept fighting back, won 2 must-have ends to tie the match, and then took control of the tiebreaker. A powerful performance fuels an impressive comeback as Korea captures the mixed team gold medal. No rain to contend with on Recurve Sunday in Shanghai, but Kibobe would be a force to contend with in the women's bronze medal match. The 2012 Olympic gold medalist back in action after a year off working as a TV commentator in Korea. She would once again face Germany's Karina Winter, who'd fought so valiantly during the women's gold medal match. We'll jump ahead and pick up the action after the first 3 arrows. Kibobe moving out to an early lead. That sends Winter to the line first, leading off the second set. Meanwhile, Ms. Key lands a 9 on the line to begin her quest to take the second set. Karina, unable to adjust and correct her aim. She's in trouble, and Kibobe's willing to keep digging that hole even deeper for her opponent.
좋아, 9점. 그 방향으로만 쏴줘. 그러면 돼.
After a good talking to herself, Winter finds the inner circle, but it may be too late. Ms. Key needs an 8 to take the set, and that's what she delivers. Just like that, it's a 4-0 lead in the match for the woman who dominated women's recurve through the first 3 years of this decade, winning 15 World Cup medals and 2 Olympic titles from 2010 through 2012. Backed into a corner, Karina Winter comes out swinging, lands a pretty good punch. But that only seems to make Ms. Key even more competitive. She strikes back with a 10 that seems to take the wind out of Winter's sails. That 8 leaves her dangling in the gusting winds along the river boulevard, and Key seems intent on blowing her away. She methodically keeps moving towards the inevitable conclusion, which her opponent seems to have come to accept. In what's become the modus operandi for the Koreans, Kibobe closes out the match in 3 straight sets, sweeping Karina Winter in commanding fashion. No drama, no suspense, just another strong, solid, straightforward effort that shows up on the bottom line as yet another victory for Key and Korea. She won gold at Stage 1 in Shanghai back in 2012, and now she wins bronze 3 years later. Kibobe back with a vengeance, claiming the bronze medal with a straight set 6-0 win over Germany's Karina Winter.
잘했다.
The assembly line in Korea keeps producing more and more finely tuned machines who come straight from the factory and qualify for gold medal matches. 3 to be exact for the unranked Gong Chae-young, making her debut at Stage 1 in China. Now in the women's gold medal match, she would face fellow 18-year-old teammate Cho Mi-soon, who'd already KO'd Katuna Lorig and Karina Winter. 4-0 in match play so far this season, Ms. Cho would find herself trailing 4-0 after the first 2 sets, a commanding lead for Ms. Gong. Cho gets first crack at the target in set 3 and revives her hope of starting a rally. Those hopes get a shot in the arm after Ms. Gong lands a little off-center. Facing a strong wind, Cho works quickly and works well, back-to-back 10s. Gong Chae-young does even better. X marks the spot. She's only down by 1 in this set and still has a chance to close out the match. But a 9 from Miss Cho makes a split the worst-case scenario from her standpoint. That scenario goes out the window, and Ms. Gong comes up with a 9. The set belongs to Cho Mi-soon, who's down but not out, trailing 4-2 as the match heads to the 4th set. In that 4th set, Cho Mi-soon would open with a 9. As does Gong Chae-young. But the picture starts to dim for Miss Cho when her second shot sinks into the 8 ring. That spells big trouble for Cho, who finds herself in deeper trouble thanks to that 9 by Ms. Gong. But the Koreans never quit, and Cho Mi-soon puts up strong resistance with what will be her final shot. Gong Chae-young can claim the gold with a similar shot, and she does just that. Now, chances are Cho Mi-soon's beaten Gong Chae-young during Korea's intense training sessions, but this time This day belongs to Gong Chae-young, who scores a convincing 6-2 win over her teammate to capture her third gold medal of the day. There's a new star coming out of Korea, and her name is Gong Chae-young. She drops a set, but never lost command of the match, winning by the final score of 6-2. So a quick look at the leaderboard after stage one confirms Korea's domination in women's recurve. But bear in mind, there's only 7 spots open for the World Cup finals, and each country can only send 2 archers to Mexico City come October.
My favorite song is All About the Bass, just because it's good lyrics and yeah, a bit funky.
I don't know, hang on.
I like Imagine Dragons because they're kind of bouncy, happy music.
I don't really listen to music when I train.
Electropop or pop music. Oh, Latin music from South America. My favorite music will be a hard rock, classic rock.
Really silly question, really hard question.
The only man standing in the way of a clean sweep by the Korean men, Indonesia's Rio Ega-Agatha, a bright-eyed 23-year-old with 6 years of international experience. He would need every bit of that experience to handle the challenge he faced in the men's bronze medal match. Lee Sung-yeon, bigger and stronger than the last time he appeared in a World Cup medal match, carried some impressive credentials to the shooting line. The world champion from 2013 in Belek had already beaten Brady Ellison and knew that he was the key to a sweep for the Korean men. Mr. Lee coming back from a 3-1 deficit after the first 2 sets and tying the match at 3-all heading into the 4th set. The man ranked second in the world starts out with a 9, then quickly adjusts his sight. Meanwhile, Ega-Agatha makes more of a mental adjustment with a powerful shot that's right on point. Point taken by Mr. Lee, who counters with another 9, falling further behind the man ranked 174th in the world. Ega-Agatha putting his next shot right on the edge of the 10 ring to maintain a 1-point edge, but he'll soon get some help from Lee Sung-yeon, who rolls out the red carpet. Ega-Agatha strolls right down that carpet to the middle of his target and secures the set, moves back in front, and is now leading 5-3 in this bronze medal match. It's getting late in the day, and the sun is starting to set on Shanghai's towering skyscrapers and Korea's Lee Sung-yeon, who opens with an 8. That opens the door for the pride of Indonesia. He looks anxious after letting that one go, but it'll fly and put Ega-Agatha in the driver's seat. Uncharacteristic for a Korean to shoot back-to-back 8s, but that's exactly what happens. Lee Sung-yeon struggling in a set he has to have, but it's slipping away. The young man from Indonesia drilling another arrow into the 10 ring, increasing his lead to 3 with only 1 to go. Mr. Lee finally got it dialed in, salvaging some pride, but the match is out of his hands. Rio Ega-Agatha is in control and brings the match to an end with a solid shot that gets 2 thumbs up from his fans in the stands. What an unforgettable week for Ega-Agatha, who notches wins over 2 of Korea's finest, Oh Jin-hyuk and Lee Sung-yeon. Consider the team bronze medal won earlier in the day, and it all adds up to the greatest day of Rio Ega-Agatha's career.
We have 20 seconds to shoot as many arrows as we can in the gold.
Sure. How many arrows do you think we can shoot?
I'm hoping for 3 on the target. I don't know about any in the gold. Go.
2. It's a nice shot. Thank you very much. You're inside. 6.
10.
Miss.
Five.
It's very young.
4.
You missed that one.
3. 2, 1.
Oh! Using that. True arrow in attack. I'm a little nervous,
Hey,
you know?
So far, you just gotta shoot one in your goal.
Oh. Oh!
I think that was a 10.
Yeah. No.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's okay.
Done.
I get more points.
Whatever you are.
This is a 4. 4. Nice shot. 7, 11. It's a 9. 3, 2. A 4. So.
He wins. He's the only one in the goal.
This is a goal.
Good job.
We can rematch.
The Koreans could obviously take consolation knowing they'd come away with 2 medals from the final match of the weekend. After leading that come-from-behind victory in the mixed team gold medal match, Kim Woo-jin was back for more. This would be his 3rd appearance center stage at stage 1. But teammate Koo Ban-chan would be walking onto the field of battle for the first time on a day when the winds sailing along the Hwangpu River had played havoc with many an archer's arrows. Koo had cruised through the quarter and semifinals, but would it be smooth sailing in the gold medal match? Not exactly. After grabbing an early lead, Mr. Koo found himself tied with Mr. Kim going into the 4th set. After a shaky start, Kim Woo-jin has settled down and settled in, nailing a 9 on the board with his opening salvo. Koo Ban-chan responds with a shot that catches the line. It's a 1-point advantage for Mr. Koo. But Mr. Kim Woo-jin is in hot pursuit. He puts a 10 on the board, challenging his teammate to do the same. That doesn't happen, so we're tied in 19, 1 shot to go in the set. Mr. Kim cannot seize control. Then 9 puts him in danger of dropping the set and falling behind with 1 set to go. But Koo cannot take advantage. These 2 evenly matched archers split the set, and they will have to settle everything in a 5th and deciding set. So the match is still tied at 4 apiece as we all get ready to head down the stretch run. Kim Woo-jin, not quite as accurate as he'd been earlier in the day. His opening shot of the 5th set sails into the 9 ring. It's a chance for Koo Ban-chan, and this time he does take advantage. Mr. Kim, a bit too cooperative for his liking. His hopes are fading fast as he follows up a 9 with an 8. Mr. Koo connects with a shot, increasing his lead to 2, which may be too much for Kim Woo-jin to overcome. In this situation, 9 is not nearly enough. So, barring a major mistake by Koo Ban-chan, Mr. Kim will have to settle for silver. Koo seals the deal with a kill shot that's dead center. It's an appropriate conclusion to a gold medal match that saw Koo Ban-chan get the job done in workmanlike fashion. Steady and solid throughout this contest, he took an early lead, stayed calm after Kim came back to tie the score at 3-all. Mr. Kim gained a split in the 4th set and then closed out the match, taking the 5th set. After collecting a pair of team gold medals on the World Cup tour last summer, not to mention that silver medal he won at Stage 2 in Turkey, Koo Ban-chan breaks through to win his first World Cup gold medal. 6-4, the final score in Shanghai. When I was training on the practice field before my match, I adjusted my sight pin for the wind conditions, but the wind on the final field affected some of my early shots. But I adjusted my sight again, and I was able to win the match. As of the moment, 4 of the top 5 men in the standings hail from Korea. But remember, each nation can only send 2 athletes to the World Cup finals, so there's still hope for many others as we say so long to Shanghai and head for Stage 2 in Antalya, Turkey.
Wow.